retired cops in town, right? Bikers. What could possibly go wrong? So where did the chief go? He's probably out front. So one, Terry, thank you. We've done this dog and pony show. Can you believe the world as it is today? So I'm glad I came here this morning to remember that, hey, South Carolina is still South Carolina. We pledged the allegiance to our flag. We had an African-American police leader say, we pray. I think the hardest job in America right now is being a black cop. I mean, you just really in between everything. So I'm honored to have your endorsement. You've had my back all these years. I'm going to have your back in the coming years. I talked to President Trump this morning. He said hello. First thing he asked about was the First Lady. She's doing good. The President was in good spirits. The first thing he asked me, Terry, how's the hearings going? I said, we're on track. We're going to start October the 12th, and we're going to work hard to get this wonderful, conservative, young lady, talented beyond belief, Amy Barrett, on the Supreme Court. Yeah. I was a prosecutor in the military. I was a county attorney, did my fair share of DUIs. I know your world. I was a military judge. I was a defense counsel. So I understand the world where you come from. And I just want to say, tune all this stuff out. Stay focused on your job, protecting our families, taking good care of yourself and your families. Law and order is on the ballot. Do you get that? That's the best thing that could happen to me and you for us to be having a discussion in South Carolina. Are we with the cops or not? Yes. There are a lot of mysteries in this world. That ain't one of them. I can't go 5 feet when I get home about people being worried. What the hell is going on? Have people gone crazy? When you turn on the TV, the good guys are the bad guys. Now, having said that, how many of you believe in police reform? I do. Let's take a shot at making it better. How many people believe it would be better to have more people of color in the police business? I do. I want to have more transparency in policing, and when a bad cop does something, hold them accountable. Just don't lump everybody in. Have you heard of qualified immunity? How about this idea? Stop suing the police officer individually and just go after the city or the town or the county. You don't need to worry about losing your car when you go to work or losing your house. Bottom line, folks, is on the ballot this year is a basic concept that we've taken for granted up until this election. Law and order is a good thing. The cops are on our side. So in about 30 days, the people of South Carolina are going to speak on this issue. And here's what I want to tell all the liberals talking about South Carolina. We're going to kick your ass. We're going to let it be known from one end of South, Myrtle Beach to Mountain Rest, that this is a state that appreciates law and order, that wants to do better, that doesn't mind reforming the police, but we're not going to turn on the cops, and we're not going to defund you. Has anybody seen a commercial of my opponent? Yeah, really. If I see one more, I may not vote for me. So it's the most, where the hell is all this money coming from, right? It's coming from people who want to defund the police. Where are my posters at? Can you see this stuff down here? Planned Parenthood, I don't know what that's got to do with defunding the police, but look at what they say, if you get a chance, that one of their agenda items in the 2020 campaign is to defund the police. Have you heard of moveon.org? One of the reasons they gave my opponent money is that their agenda is to shift resources away from the police to other areas. Well, I've been in family court in South Carolina. I know the troubles people face. The people that deserve front row seat in heaven is a social worker, right? Somebody working at DSS with abused children. I don't mind giving them more money. I don't want to take it away from you. So as to my opponent, he's been asked twice early on, where are you at on defunding the police? There's a website called Hiding Harrison. And you talk about dodging. Ask me, what do you think of defunding the police? No. How long does it take to say no? He didn't say no twice because the people giving him money don't want to hear no. He said, no, I'm not for it now because I made him. You, Terry, we made him. We've gone all over this state to talk to everybody that would talk with us, and we put right in front of the people of South Carolina, where do you stand on defunding the police? Well, no, I'm not for that. Really? Well, the people that are giving your money are for that. Why don't you send it back? If you're really not for it, give them back their money. America is going through a soul-searching moment. There are people in the Democratic Party that want to fundamentally transform who we are. The Republican Party has its faults, and Trump can be a handful. Got all that, right? But he's been right on the things that matter to me, and I hope to you. Do you have any doubt that Donald Trump is on your side? No. Do you have any doubt that I'm on your side? No. Well, go tell your neighbors. Educate them. You're the most devastating ad I could ever have. You can take all the money in California, apparently what they're trying to do, and run advertising in South Carolina about this and that. There's nothing more powerful than the people in this room. If you tell your family, and you tell your neighbors, and you tell the people you go to church with, and you interact with, what this is all about, I'm going to win. You know why I'm going to win? Because of people like you. I've got the best advertising in the history of South Carolina politics, the cops. Now, the only thing that would create a problem for me and you is we didn't take this seriously. I am taking this challenge seriously. I'm the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. How do you get to be the chairman of the Judiciary Committee? You outlive everybody to your right. We change senators in South Carolina every 50 years where we need to or not. And we're not there yet. I took Strom. How many people do Strom through? Good old Strom was on your side. He got elected in 1954. I was born in 1955. So I've been following in the footsteps of a really force of nature. He told me, you take care of the people, they'll take care of you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate what you do. I know how dangerous it is. And as chairman of the committee, we're going to make sure the crazy stuff never sees the light of day. And the good stuff keeps coming. One of the good things I can do for you is put conservatives on the Supreme Court. Do you agree with that? A cop's worst nightmare is a liberal judge. How many of you dropped them off in the morning and see them back out on the street in the afternoon? Doesn't that break your heart? Doesn't that piss you off? So all this stuff going on in New York where they've done away with bail, how good is that working? I was in Minneapolis just a few days ago. People are afraid to go downtown. I talked to the police officers at the airport who were sent downtown and said morale is low. You got politicians all over this country cutting police budgets. Guess who's the biggest victim of that? Poor people. People of means will find a way to take care of themselves, right? Poor people have got you. That's it. How many times have you walked into a home where somebody's on drugs and domestic violence, and you got kids crying over in the corner, and you calm it down? I've seen this. I've been a lawyer in South Carolina family court. I've been a lawyer in South Carolina. I see what you do every day. I see the things that most people don't see. That you take an abused woman and you give her a chance to have a break. That you get the kids out of a crappy environment. That you talk somebody off the ledge. That you walk up to a car in the middle of the night not knowing who's in it. And you do that to protect my family. And we're going to defund the police? Hell no. So, bottom line, I need you at the personal level. The FOP endorsement goes a long way, but it is no substitute for you as an individual. Let's commit to ourselves as a group to take this fight to the voting booth, to the streets. Put a yard sign up in your yard. When you put a yard sign in your yard for me, you're telling everybody in that neighborhood, you're for me. I would be honored. I would be humbled. And I'm not going to let you down. So we're going to get Amy Barrett through the process. And that will be the third judge on Trump's watch. And we're going to fundamentally change the judiciary over time to take all these liberal activist judges and replace them with high qualified people like Judge Barrett, who will be fair to you, fair to people on the other side, but not going to take a liberal agenda they can't get past at the ballot box and make it law through wearing a robe. There's so much on the ballot. Changing the Electoral College means that New York, California decide who's president. Packing the court means they're going to destroy the conservative majority we've all worked so hard to create on the court. All I can say, ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever a time for the Fraternal Order of the Police, it is now. How many of you have been involved for over 10 years? Did you ever think you would have a challenge like you do today? No. It's usually been about benefits, right? Making sure people take care of us. And the law enforcement active duty people have what they need, and the retirees taken care of. You never in your wildest dreams believe you'd be in a fight for the heart and soul of policing as a concept. Now 2020 is a chance to make a statement that needs to be made. South Carolina is getting a lot of attention. My opponent will raise $100 million. My good friend John McCain raised $100 million running for president of the United States. Every liberal in the country is supporting my opponent, which means to me I must be doing something right. So let's send a message to Hollywood from South Carolina. You're welcome to visit, but you're not going to pick our senator. If you'll get out and get involved in an unprecedented manner, the biggest winner will be people of color in poor neighborhoods. Because if this agenda gets enacted, they're the biggest losers. If you'll get out and get involved, it will be easier to recruit police officers because they know people actually have their back. How many of you are worried about a young cop being able to do what you've done? How do you recruit in this environment? How many people are counting the minutes to retirement date? And this has all happened in literally in a year. You can be against what happened to Mr. Floyd, and you should be. You can be against excessive use of force, and you should be. But you can't be, in my view, against the cop. Because without the cop, willing to get up and do things that most of us don't want to do, you can't run your business. What did I learn in Minneapolis? People are going bankrupt because people are afraid to come into their business. How do you go to a ball game? How do you go out and about if there is no security? I want to end on this. I've been to Iraq and Afghanistan 56 times to make sure the war over there never comes back here again. We talk a lot about the soldier. Any of you are members of the military too? Figured. You've worn both hats. And we give great credit, Terry, to the military men and women, because they go in faraway places to do things necessary to keep us safe here at home. If you want to live in a world where there are no cops, come with me to the Mideast. You know why everybody's got a gun in the Mideast? Because they need one. The day that you take the cops out of the equation and you have no judicial system, people are on their own, and the worst behavior among men becomes every day. To those who want to reduce police budgets at a time of great stress, you're crazy. To those who want to invest more in the community, count me in. But the number one investment that you should make at the state, local, and federal level is security. Without national security, there is no economic security. If you don't keep the terrorists at bay, they'll keep coming here. Do you believe that? The only reason they haven't come back here is because we kept them over there. If you want your community to be a good tourist destination like Myrtle Beach, you have to have enough cops to make people feel safe. This is not rocket science. So I'm going to make a prediction. Come November the 3rd, a little over 30 days from now, South Carolina is going to speak up and speak loudly. And one of the messages we're going to deliver to the world, because the world is watching, in South Carolina, we have the cops back. God bless you all.